everybody is using the joint scrimmage with another opponent as your preseason games because you can control the injuries a little better because you don't actually tackle hard, you don't run through guys, and the quarterback is completely off limits. So now that's where they're sort of figuring things out, is in those.
And because, Skip, no one is really playing their starters. Because you look at Sean McVay
in the preseason, they're not.
So that's the way, and like you said, that's the way to control it. Stay away from the quarterback. Everybody stays up on special teams. There's no tackling or anything like that.
So as you recall, the Cowboys had a couple, maybe 3 days against the Rams while they were still out in Southern California, where the Rams were in Thousand Oaks, obviously, and in Oxnard for the Cowboys. And Dak missed the whole thing. Dak missed everything because it started on July 28th as we got to witness firsthand on Hard Knocks, thanks to the Hard Knocks, the NFL Films video. We got to see the footage of Dak suddenly saying, I don't know what happened. It is the single most mysterious injury I have ever encountered that a quarterback suffered because it's some weird muscle pull, strain, tear. I don't know what it is. I've never heard of this before, but I got to deal with it. So I'm trying to see it as silver lining of, well, at least his ankle seems to be great. You know, I don't hear a thing about the ankle.
Well, you said the ankle, I mean, Dak said going into training camp that he has no limitations. He felt no hesitation about the ankles, and then this flares up. The question is he going to be able to let loose of the football when it becomes meaningful, which is September 9th against Tampa Bay? Can he let loose the football without having the back of my mind, how long is this thing? Is it going to hold up? Am I going to be good this game? Am I going to be good for the next game? How long? Because, Skip, this is the first time that we've seen him throw. I mean, and that's only 12 throws, Skip. It's not like he went out there and threw the ball 50 times like somebody in a pro day. He threw the ball 12 times.
Okay, I hear everything you're saying. I can't answer that question because when it comes to injuries, neither of us can say what's going on in a man's mind and in his body. I just like the fact that he was throwing with a little bit of zip on the ball that I did not see pregame the other night before the Houston game. I saw a little bit of zip. I saw flashes, glimpses of the old Dak. And heck, I at the first of this video that we're showing, I just love seeing him running out onto the field. He looked good. His body looks good. He looks incredibly trim and fit. And all I heard yesterday from the Cowboys were all those classic words. Zeke said he's a grinder. McCarthy said he's a competitor. I say he's a baller. So everything seems on course except for this mysterious thing that we've never heard of. It's a quote-unquote baseball injury to the point they had to go try to get some information from the trainers of the Rangers and the Yankees, said our man Jay Glazer. I've never heard of this before.
But Skip, it was also good to see him in a team setting because remember, most of the time he was throwing soft toss by himself. He was doing some 7-on-7 stuff. But now he's in a team setting because he's going to have to get used to people being around his feet, Skip. You know, in a game, people are like scratching and clawing, trying to get at you. So we'll find out just how healthy that ankle is, how confident and secure he feels in that ankle, all the while knowing that he's going to throw the ball at least 25 to 30 times.
This is a huge year for Dakota Rain Prescott. And I would like to start to respell his middle name, R-E-I-G-N, as in Cowboys reign over the world. But the point is, he just got $75 million to play football just this year. The next on the list of paid quarterbacks is Tom Brady at 27.5. So he's at 75, and the pressure mounts. We disagree. I think the most pressure is on Ezekiel Elliott. I need Zeke to have a bounce back for Dak's sake. And yet, I saw this last preseason game, they actually played Ty Smith, and they played Zach Martin, and they played Lyle Collins. And I haven't seen them in action for so long, but they actually trotted them out there and let them play a couple of series.
But this is why I disagree with you because, Skip, they say we've seen over the last couple of years Zeke in decline. Everybody talked about how Dak could possibly throw for 6,000 yards. He was on pace. Remember, he had the greatest 5 games passing in NFL history. He's at over 400 yards passing a game. No one has been over 390 in the first 5 games. So now you factor that in with the contract, with the contentious relationship that he had. He's like, I'm not playing. This is what I'm worth. There's an immense amount of pressure on a guy that got that kind of money because now, we're going to talk about it a little later. There's an immense amount of pressure. When you get that kind of money, people equate money to success. Well, you got paid, okay, now show me.
Okay. So, are you putting him on the hot seat? Because you're going to hold his feet to that fire, and it's going to burn hot at Tampa.
Because the Cowboys, Jerry keeps saying, all y'all keep talking about this is the Cowboys' year. And Pro Football Focus every year, this is one of the 5 most talented teams. They've been saying that for 25 years. And for 25 years, everybody is let down. There's not been one year where people said, you know what? The Cowboys overachieved. The Cowboys were not supposed to have a 10-6 record. They were not supposed to be 11-5. Every year for 25 years, everybody said at the end of the year, this has been a disappointment. Name one time in the last 25 years, Skip, where you said, you know what? I'm proud of my team because they overachieved. They were not supposed to be what they were. You're disappointed every year.
2014, 2016, 2018, I was proud of them all 3 years.
Skip, you was the number 1 seed in the NFC, and you called the L in the divisional.
2016?
Yes!
Because we got off to a really slow start with 2 rookies in the starting lineup at quarterback and running back, and a defense that was probably overrated and not ready for Aaron Rodgers. And they fell behind 21-3, and then what happened? Rain happened.
Nothing happened.
R-E-I-G-N happened.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out.
And all of a sudden, I look up, and it's 31-all thanks to Dakota Rain Prescott.
Well, why was it 21-3? Because of Dakota Rain Prescott.
Well, Aaron Rodgers got hot, and then he cooled off, and then he got lucky because he got 2 of the weirdest, strangest, most unpredictable long-distance intergalactic field goals I have ever witnessed, 51 yards and 56 yards from Mason Crossbar. I don't know how he did it.
I love how you do that. You talk about, oh, we got off, we had the best record, but it was with 2 rookies. They were rookies in the regular season, and you didn't mention that. Now, all of a sudden, they catch the L because they... Like I said, they would. Now, all of a sudden, you want to put it on the age. Don't do that, Skip. All I'm saying is this. There's more expectations. There's greater pressure on Dak Prescott because why? You told me since I've been on the show with you, the most important position in sports is what position, Skip? And then when you magnify that he plays in Dallas, Texas. Yeah. You and I was having a conversation off air about Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman. Well, that's the gold standard. I don't know what can I equate it to, Skip. Maybe
you're talking about who is the greatest quarterback, or who's the most popular quarterback, and I said it's
gotta be
by a little bit it's Rodgers.
Right.
I mean, he was godlike.
Are we talking about a center fielder for the Yankees? Yeah. I mean, what can we compare it to, Skip? As that another position in another sport? I don't know what you can compare it to. The starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and you win a Super Bowl.
It used to be center field for the Yankees, but now I think it sits alone on its own pedestal. I don't think there's anything like it.
Oh, okay.
And yet the Hall of Famer across from me discounted all those yards Dak threw for in the first 4 games last year.
Calories.
A lot of empty calories.
Yeah.
They fell behind at Seattle 30-15. Well, again, let's go back to Atlanta first. They won the game, but they were completely down 39-20. 39-20.
Yeah, they was down by 19 at one point.
I believe it was. And then they go to Seattle, they're down 30-15. And then Cleveland at home, they're down 40-14 going to the fourth quarter. And he's just lighting up fourth quarters, mostly in losing efforts.
Correct.
That it's just the hole was dug too deep. Okay, so I'll give you that. I will give you that in his last 17 starts, he's 6-11, which is horrifying to me and should be horrifying to Jerry Jones, who just paid him $75 million for this year.
Which you said was too much about Dak. I like Dak. Dak's a good guy, but I don't believe he deserves to be paid the upper tier money. Well, he got the upper tier money. So when you get the upper tier money, guess what comes along with that? Upper tier responsibilities.
Okay. But I do believe what McCarthy is selling right now, and his credibility is taking a lot of hits on Hard Knocks, but I'm buying into this whole idea of I've never seen one side of the ball get flipped in the offseason, get turned around in the offseason like the Cowboy defense just did. I am loving what I'm seeing. There's a lot of youth, and there's going to be a lot of youthful gambling mistakes made, but they're going to be way better on defense than they were last year.
And guess what we get the chance to see on September 9th? Just how much that defense is flipped. What better way to see how well your defense has grown since that infusion of youth and a new voice and Dan Quinn calling than going against the reigning Super Bowl champion, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
They will get surgically humiliated.
No. You can't do that.
Yes, you can.
That man,
the GOAT. And the GOAT has got a receiving core second to none in the league.
You just spent this 5 minutes telling me about how they flip and how you like what you see.
Okay, but you can't start there against
Why
them.
not?
Well, come on. And what about their defense? What about Tampa's defense? Can you make a case it's the best in football right now? I can.
Hold on. You just told me one guy makes $75 million, the other guy makes $27 million. So the guy that makes
off game one, it's over. It's going to be like, I'll just go off the top of my head. It's going to be like
0-2.
35.
You're starting the season 0